use it, and it's refreshing. But you kind of have to sit back and hope. Boy, I hope they don't mess this up, because it's really great what Red Hat's been doing.
Yep, for sure.
The only thing Oracle hasn't killed yet that was good stuff at Sun is VirtualBox. I don't think they know they own it.
I still use VirtualBox. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. It's open source. It can do live migration, which I didn't realize it could, which is really fun. So you can have two, you set up a VirtualBox that's running something, and then you fire up a new one, and you can squirt them across, and then it basically finally generates, it copies as much as it can, keeping up to date, but it then stops it just for a second to make that final pass, and all of a sudden you're running on another box, which is pretty cool.
Yep. So, yeah. Andromedan says we should try to get the chat room in here too. Andromedan says Oracle is doing some new open source projects like Helidon, and they are, and they're still supporting MySQL or MySQL. To a certain degree, I still use that, of course, when I'm not using Maria or something else. But it's true. It's just that knowing Larry from a distance, of course, but just having been in the room with him and hear him speak and things, you kind of have to look at their commitment over the years and think, I'm glad they're doing it. I support them. I hope that that works. But the amount of faith that I have in some of those projects, just because they're coming from Oracle, is probably a little bit less than they would be if they were coming from Red Hat. So I'm biased, I guess.
All right.
It's kind of tough.
Got the next story?
I was just going to say, it's kind of tough to talk about Red Hat without talking about CentOS. CentOS 8. CentOS 8 just released, and so you mentioned the old Red Hat Linux distribution. Well, then Red Hat put out RHEL, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and sometime along the line, somebody looked at the open source licenses and said, we could just rebuild all of their code, take all of their branding out, and release it as a community enterprise Linux, which is where CentOS came from. And then back 2 or 3 years ago, I don't remember exactly when, Red Hat said, we really like what you guys are doing. How about we officially adopt the CentOS project and bring it into the Red Hat fold? Which I guess that was another one of those situations where a lot of people maybe got nervous about it, but they seem to have done well with it. Well, just the last few months, CentOS 8, based on RHEL 8, was released. And they did something real interesting. They also have a CentOS Stream. Have you guys looked into CentOS Stream or used Red Hat 8 yet?
I have not. What is Stream?
It is basically a rolling release that, from what I can tell, it is based currently on 8, and it's going to be a rolling release all the way to 9. And so it's kind of like, it kind of sits between Fedora and Red Hat.